Say, are you having a hard time getting your dog to listen? She won't stay off the bed, keeps jumping up on you and your guests, begging for food. Maybe she stays up all night watching Korean dramas with the volume just a scotch too loud. You say you've tried everything? I say you've barely scratched the surface. Oops, I Lost My Dog at-home microchip remover is the solution you've been looking for. Avoid awkward stares when you casually ask the veterinarian where the microchip is located in the dog and how to remove it. That'll end up in your file. But with Oops, I Lost My Dog's patented technology, you can be the master of your own fate. And your dog's. The package includes a small metal detector, a bottle of rubbing alcohol, tweezers, a camping shovel, and a map of the desert surrounding Las Vegas. No one wants to acknowledge that the unintended consequence of the microchip system is that you get your pet back every time, even if you don't want it. Removing that microchip kind of levels the playing field. So eat those nachos in peace with Oops, I Lost My Dog at-home microchip remover kit. Today, on Please Excuse My Dead Aunt Sally, nothing in your refrigerator is real. And I hire a Bigfoot hunter to help find my car keys.
Here we go! This might be it! This might be it! Oh, false alarm! False alarm!
Well, it's come to my attention that I may have a bit of a drinking problem. Characterized by making preparation to drink, which apparently is a pretty serious warning sign. But look, I always give my car keys to my wife, just to be safe. And sometimes my wallet, to make sure I don't spend too much. And if things get really out of hand, I might give her my glasses. And sometimes my phone. That keeps me out of trouble. But just the keys, the wallet, my glasses, and sometimes my phone. And that's it. Unless things get really out of hand, if I am drinking so much that I come back to give her my shoes, then we might have a problem. But only if my wife is sitting at a table at the edge of the establishment and I'm going back and forth to the bar barefoot, asking for more money out of my wallet and turning in my shoes as collateral. Okay, maybe I might have a bit of a drinking problem in that situation. So, for everyone else's convenience, I've made a list of ways that you, my friend, can tell when I'm in the process of drinking recklessly. If you catch me trying to use my AA chips to buy a beer, I might be drinking a little too much. If you hear me singing country music. If you see me trying to do a cartwheel. If you see me ordering pizza with pineapple on it. Or if I'm just hanging around in New Jersey, I might be drinking recklessly. Look, it's not like I always leave chicken bouillon cubes on the counter to remind me of my glass measuring cup full of chicken broth breakfast. And now for some listener questions. To have your question read on the show, write to pleaseexcusemydeadauntSally@gmail.com. Our first question today comes from Rob at the Paper Heroes podcast. Rob asks, what is the best topping for a pizza? And what is the worst topping for a pizza? And why is pineapple on warm pizza gross, but on cold pizza not so bad? Excellent questions, Rob. The best pizza topping is $100 million in cash. The worst pizza topping is live edible AIDS that just kind of sits there in the cheese and then gets in you. As for the pineapple, it's gross on warm pizza because your expectations are high, and it can never be better than mediocre. Then you eat it the next day cold, and I bet you've been drinking by that time, and everything tastes good if you have a beer with it. Even olives, which are fucking disgusting and should be outlawed. Also, my own research has shown that semen makes my pineapple pizza taste awful. Rob, try eating your warm pineapple pizza about 9 beers in, and let me know if the experience is any better. In fact, write or call me after you've had about beer number 14, and let us know how things are going for you. Our next question comes from Faith McQuinn at the A Serial Drama Podcast. Faith asks, "Hey Mike, what is something you're absolutely terrible at?" Drawing realistic penises on passed out people with Sharpies. And it's not from a lack of practice. I can just never get the proportions right. Now's a perfect time to mention today's sponsor, Pinto Comics Podcast. Look, I'll be honest, I never really read comics. I watched every episode of Batman the Animated Series and the 90s X-Men show. But I have a lot of comic book nerd friends. Pinta Comics gets me up to speed well enough to pull off convincing responses to questions like, what do you think about DC's The Terrifics series? Pinta Comics also helps me learn hip comic slang, such as what do you call the process of entering a new box containing a full series into your existing alphabetized shelves? Answer, a full box insertion. So check out Pinto Comics wherever fine podcasts are peddled. Our final question today comes from RJ Bates III, host of The Titanium Vault, hosted by RJ Bates III. RJ asks, if the abominable snowman was bit by a vampire, a werewolf, and a zombie at the same time, what would it become and what would you call it? Excellent question, Rob. I'm thinking of an abominable snowman I actually know, named Edward. And if that happened to him, we'd call him Count Lycan Eddie the Yeti Undeady. Well, that's our show today. Thank you so much for listening. Join us next week when I will change a Band-Aid with my teeth. Music for today's episode was Deuces and Back Bay Lounge by Kevin MacLeod. And please follow the show on Instagram under username Please Excuse My Dead Aunt Sally.
Hey, you're a fucking idiot. We're all doing that. Bye-bye.